try to thank you for coming. All right, so we're going to jump right into it. The agenda's changed just a little bit according to what, if you grab the sheet. But EDA series, we're going to have Country Financial take us up. So come on up. Yeah, just go crazy. Here's the clicker. Let's see.
Nick, you get to run the clicker.
I'm running the live stream. Sorry.
This Nick.
Oh, that Nick.
The Nick. Two Nicks.
Oh, yeah.
Too many Nicks.
Is this one forward?
Yes.
Well, good morning. I'm Mike Winjum. This is Nick Woodard. We're from the Nick Woodard Agency for Country Financial. A lot of you may know me. I was with the Dairy Queen for about 20 years here. Mike Winjum. I joined with Nick last year with Country Financial, selling home, auto, and life insurance here in Perm. Nick is out of the Moorhead office. So we work together on a lot of cases, but I run the Perm one.
And I've been in with Country for about 5 years, run the Moorhead office, and then got the Perm office about 3 years ago. And Mike and I started talking last year and decided he wanted to change and ended up joining our team. So really happy to have him on board. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is a picture of on the right there, my wife Stephanie and my daughter Lainey and John. My wife teaches at St. Henry's here in town. My kiddos go there. It's just, for me, it's important to be part of the Perm community, and this gives me a chance to still work with people in the business.
And there's my crew that was at a country event that we had a couple years ago in San Diego. My wife is from Perm originally. She's in Evelyn. I'm originally from Frazee, so don't hold that against me. Yes. But yeah, just want to, this is the big reason why we do what we do, for our families and everything. We want to provide support for them. So here's a little bit more about our business. I don't know, Mike, if you want me to take this part. Yeah. So, when people think of Country Financial, they think of us in a couple different areas. They think of us either in the financial side or the insurance side. We're one of the unique insurance industries or businesses that can do both. One big thing that a lot of people don't know about Country Financial is that we are very heavy in the ag industry. We started out as an Illinois Farm Bureau company 100 years ago, so we're celebrating our 100-year anniversary this year. And so we are very big in the ag industry. That's not as well known up here as we are in some of the other states like Illinois and Iowa and stuff like that. But we can write any type of farm agribusiness in Minnesota. North Dakota, we are hopefully going to be able to write next year. As far as Mike and I, for the business that we can write business in Minnesota, North Dakota, Wisconsin, Arizona, and Tennessee. Go ahead, Mike. These are some of the core businesses that we try to target.
We can do pretty much any business.
Yeah. These are some of the businesses, though, that Country really wants to focus on for us going forward. Is those they call it micro businesses. You're looking at for as far as professional services, accountants, lawyers, chiropractors, those types of things. We're really competitive in the trades industries, whether you're construction, plumbers, electricians, HVAC, those types of businesses we are really competitive in. Those are niche markets that the Country really wants to target. So if you know anyone in those industries, we would love to quote them, as we do feel like we have a competitive advantage in those areas.
We can always check. It takes about 5 minutes to enter your address, your location. We can pull up to see if it's a risk we can write at this time or not. And it's worth looking. Because the one thing about insurance numbers is they change, and I can't tell you why. Like, you can come in and be like, I'm paying $8,000 a year, blah, 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 clean, and I can quote you, and it comes in $1,500 cheaper, And we don't win them all, but if you're ever curious, like, hey, I haven't got quoted in a while, it's worth a look because, just coming in, it takes maybe 20, 30 minutes. Some business ones might take a day. roof's 10 years old. I just got something that said, now my house has an actual cash replacement value because my roof's 10 years old. Well, Country Financial, our full replacement for roof is 20 years. So if your current insurance is only giving you full replacement for 10, we'll replace your roof in a hailstorm, windstorm, up to 20 years. So that's been a real big selling point. Customer came in, I was like, we were pretty similar on everything. And he's like, what's this schedule mean? I'm like, well, so your deductible's $2,000. It says your roof's 50% used. So if it's a $2,000 or $20,000 damage, now your roof, they're saying you're going to get $10,000 minus $2,000. Now you get $8,000 paid out. With Country, up to 20 years, if you have $20,000 damage minus your deductible, if it's $2,000, you get paid out $18,000. So it's a huge difference. So it's something you should look at on your policies. And if you're in the real estate game, you're selling a house, say, hey, you know, this roof is 21 years old. It's fully depreciated. So you're going to have to redo your roof. If there was damage to a storm, you're not going to get any coverage for it. So those are some.
Yeah, and I'm sure all of you guys have experienced, whether in the commercial side or the personal side, the insurance world the last few years has kind of been, I refer to it in the upside down. A lot of companies are going to percentage deductibles, but a lot of people don't understand what that means. But you know, if you have like a $500,000 house and you have a 1% deductible, that's $5,000, and people don't realize that until all of a sudden they have a claim. They're like, whoa, I have this much that I have to pay out for a claim. Some companies are dropping certain types of businesses. I know apartment complexes, condo associations, and condos are just getting a lot tougher to write and to insure. Reasons for that is just what we've seen in the news as far as catastrophic losses. On like apartment buildings, you'll see, you know, large wind, hails, claims that happen. And so those types of industries are getting really hard to insure, or they're really changing the type of insurance that you can have on those. For Mike and I, the biggest thing that we see as far as, you know, he's talking about wind, hail claims. On the homeowner side, the number one claim we see is wind, hail. Number two is either sump pump, sewer, water backup coverage. A lot of people don't even have that type of coverage on the policy, so making sure you're checking to see if you've got that and if you have the adequate amount of coverage. On the auto side, number one is windshield, auto glass damage. Got my side window fixed yesterday, actually, because my son threw a baseball at it. And that's the number one claim. And number two is hitting a deer. So making sure you have the right coverages in place for those. Like for auto glass, if you have safety glass coverage, specifically on your policy, you're able to get your glass fixed without a deductible. So making sure you're looking at that. On the commercial side, making sure your deductibles are right. You have some of those optional coverages in place as well. But not only on homeowners, auto, and commercial, we also are very big with life insurance. You know, there was the old joke that who shouldn't have life insurance is the only person that refuses to die. Otherwise, everyone should have some sort of life insurance in place. Fortunately for Country Financial, it's one of our best products that we offer, and actually we got named the world's best life insurance company by Forbes this previous year. So something that we're very proud of. Whether you're looking at insurance for helping out your family, if something was to happen to you, if you're a business owner trying to cover if something were to happen to you, that the business can go on. There's so many different uses and utilizations for life insurance that we just love to have that conversation with you and make sure you have the right coverage in place.
So life insurance, the main thing is like, if you're married, you and your wife, your spouse, you have a plan. Just have the conversation, just feel like, hey, you know, what do we have for a mortgage? You know, 500,000 or what? You know, okay, we both work, so we have two incomes. It's pretty hard making our monthly payments on everything right now with two incomes. So what happens if one of us isn't here? You know, it doesn't have to be like pulling teeth. It's just small little things. Have a conversation, have a plan. So it's mortgage protection, income protection, lifestyle protection, just to see, okay, so we got this covered, you got your retirement, you got your 401k, you got your health insurance, you end of the bus, but it's nice to, you know, have a little bit of money put aside, because once you get things put into your monthly budget, you know, then it's there. So it's kind of like putting it in a tin can, and you kind of just put it away and let it go. But like I said, it's important to have it, especially like if you have two incomes and you're just getting by, if something had happened, to fill that gap. And like for me or Nick, it's just a conversation. It's a phone call. Let's stop by and just say, hey, you know, could you explain that a little more? It's not like we don't have to sell policies like you sit down and you can't get out of there. You can just have, like, come on in, like, explain it. Hey, what's your income? What's your spend? You know, what's your plan? And it's not, hey, you got to buy $1 million of life insurance, or you can't. You know, maybe it's 100,000. You know, every person is different, and you might look at it and say, you know, we do have this, that, or that. We may get it through work, but if you get it through work, what do you do when you're done at work? You know, you should.
You lose that benefit the day you leave.
Well, there's final expense, there's funeral, so it's like you don't want to have to try to buy life insurance in your 60s. So these are just things, you know.
And here's just an interesting stat within life insurance. This is country just specifically last year. We paid out 6,824 life claims to a total of $285 million. So when you think, oh, life insurance wouldn't affect me, I'll never use it. Life insurance companies, nobody ever uses those policies. Well, you know, we paid out almost $250 million last year in life insurance claims. I myself have had years where I paid out 3 or 4, years where I paid out 20 to 30. I had one where I had a gal where it was both her parents and her father-in-law within 6 months paid out life insurance claims. So it can happen. It is a useful tool that you can use for education, for retirement, for leaving that family legacy for the next generation. There's so many different uses for it, but we want to just make sure that everyone's adequately covered, that if something was to happen, that they at least have their family.
Is it still non-tax too in your state lending?
So that's all that I kind of have. I don't know, Mike, do you have anything else?
I think we went over.
You did great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Stephanie.
Awesome.
Thanks,
All right, the Northwoods, if you guys want to come up?
No.
Awesome. Well, good morning. My name is Brandon Munson. My wife, Marlene, right here. We are the co-lead pastors at Northwoods Life Church, and we're so excited. We've lived here for about 2.5 years and gotten connected with the chamber. Leah and Nick were one of the first people that we met here in town, and just the team that you guys have, Mackenzie and like April, like the things that you guys do in this community. We are proud to call Perham our home, to call the Lakes area our permanent vacation home. But we are Northwoods Life Church, and we just want to share a little bit about our goal to impact our community and some different initiatives. And it's just an honor for us to be here today. A little bit about ourselves, because we are the leaders of the church. The church, we've been around for about 31 years, and I grew up in Lake City, Minnesota, southeast Minnesota. I see one person knows where that is. Great job. Thank you for that. I grew up right on the Mississippi River. My mom owned a flower shop for over 20 years. I know what it takes to be a small business owner, what it takes on your family to pull that off. I was highly involved in my high school, things like that. I love running. I love being around town. You can kind of see we love to travel. We just got back from Florida a couple weeks ago, so you're welcome. We brought a little bit of warm weather back. Whoever brought this back this morning, that's on you. But we are just, I love having fun. I love running and things like that. So.
Yeah, so we consider ourselves pretty entrepreneurial. We love creativity, and we like the impact that an organization can have on a community, which is why it's so awesome to us that so many people show up at 7:30 in the morning for a chamber event, learn what's going on in your community, and how we can all work together for that. So who we are as a church, as Northwoods Life Church. Did you share that?
I didn't share about you. Why don't you share a little bit?
Oh, okay, well, I'll share. I know, because I'm like, wait, I heard you say 31 years, so I'm like, I think we overlapped a little bit. Like you said, my name is Marlena. It'll take you about 7 times to get all the vowels in the right order there. I grew up in St. Paul. I went to college in Orange County, California, but I've spent about the last 10 years of my life living in rural areas. We were in South Dakota in a suburb of Sioux Falls, and then now we're here. And so I adapt to wherever I am, because people are people, and we do what we do where we're planted.
In our marketplace experience, we've done everything from small business. We worked for T-Mobile. I was there for about 10 years. So Marlena worked for Target Corporation. So we have both that experience of large business, but then also what it takes to run a small business.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so we believe at Northwoods Life Church that everyone is created for a purpose, and everyone can have the opportunity to encounter God in their own way. And so that is what we preach at our church. We want everyone to experience who God truly is and discover why they're here on earth, what their purpose is. But at the same time, that's what we do, and that's our calling. But we need business owners. We need first responders. We need teachers and doctors. We all do our part in where we're called to help each other and provide for each other and help raise our next generation.
Yeah. We believe that everyone's called to be a leader where they're at. And I love being in this room this morning, because this is a room that's filled with leaders that are impacting not only like in your business, but maybe you've got employees, maybe you got kids, maybe you have friends that of your kids, and you said baseball's coming up, right? And you're going to be sitting there for hundreds of hours over the next few months, right? You can be a leader and an influence of where you're at. And so a couple values that we have, like we love having fun at church. I grew up in a church that was not very fun, and so I believe that church can be fun and it should be fun. For instance, right now we're doing a coin drive right now where who's ever losing in the week between our boys and girls team, they're going to be eating the super sour candy. They're going to take a 2-minute ice bath live on stage. They're going to get slime from our rooftop, different things like that.
I represent the girl team, so I'm like praying for coins to come in and dollars to go to the boys' house.
Yeah, we also believe in the next generation, because we have the power to influence the next generation. And I think we're beyond the point of like, I hope my kids do better than what I did. Our prayers that our kids in the next generation just do something great in general in their life, and whatever that might be for who they have. And so we believe the church is not belonging inside the walls. Like if you've seen our church, we're right on the corner as you come into town, right across from the KLM corporate office, and we love where we're at in town because we take pride in our building. We've done a few different things. We've worked with Nick and a bunch of the city people to make sure that we are a great welcoming spot for our community. So we've hosted movie nights, outdoor movie nights. That's kind of what you see up there. We've done picnics. We love being out in our community, and we want to make Perham a greater place to raise a family and to become a vacation spot. So we have several different events that are going on. Pastor Marlon, why don't you kind of walk through that sheet with them and share a little bit about what's going on?
Yeah, so we just wanted to highlight what kind of events we do, and if you're wanting to participate, some of these events, everything is open to everybody, but some of them might be a little bit more for like, oh, if you, well, actually none of them on this sheet are for that. These are all, look at us, we did a good sheet there. So we have a women's conference coming up. We're going to be marketing that with the local churches that are in Perham, and then other churches that are in the Lakes area. That's coming up in April. We're bringing in a speaker for that. We'll have worship. It's kind of nice to not always have to go to the cities or to Rochester or to Bemidji for a conference. So we're hosting, this is our 3rd annual one here. We invite you to Easter service. I know life gets busy and people don't always get a chance to go to church. And then when it comes to Christmas or Easter, they're like, where should they go? Come to Northwoods Life Church. We've got a Good Friday service at 6:30 p.m. and then an Easter morning service at 10 a.m. Come dressed however you want. We'll have a photo booth. So if you're like, I got everybody here and they look nice, let's take a picture. Let's commemorate it. We will have a children's church service for our kindergartners through 5th graders as well. So we make that fun and exciting. There's activities. There will be candy. Sorry, I don't normally sugar your children up before I get them back, but we'll have that going on. What's so funny is puzzle competition. You might be like, I've been seeing those pop up. We've been planning this since like last March when we went to one in Alexandria. And so then in the December, we were like, okay, let's get it on the calendar. We're going to do it at the end of April. That gives us time to make a plan. And then all of a sudden, we're like, oh my goodness, other people are doing puzzle competitions. So it's really exciting. Apparently, a lot of more people are into puzzles than we thought. Ours, we're just trying to cover the cost. It's just $39 for the whole team. That does include dinner. We're doing a taco bar, and then you get to bring the puzzle home with you. So it is a cost-effective way if you're like, oh, I have some teenagers. I know some of our students in our youth group are wanting to put together teams, so there'll be different teams. It will be a 500-piece puzzle, so it might not be the best event for younger kids, but if they want to come and play and hang out, that would be great, and we'll have lots of giveaways for that. And then we'll talk a little bit more about the race.
Yeah, so one thing that we are starting this summer is a local race, and like I mentioned, we're both long-distance runners. We both literally ran around the city yesterday because it was 60 degrees, and we had to get 13, 14 miles in yesterday. But one of the things that we believe is that there is a social injustice out there that we have the ability to fight, and it's human trafficking. And human trafficking, we think of it as a world problem, not necessarily a Minnesota or an Otter Tail County problem. And I want to tell you today that it's not just a world problem. We do hear a lot of stats around the world, and if you've ever seen the movie Taken, like that's when people think of human trafficking, that's how it happens. You get abducted and you get brought across borders or whatever, and you have to live a lifestyle that way. But human trafficking is so much more encompassing. In fact, on the United States side, most human trafficking is actually in the household or in the neighborhood that they are growing up in, where it's a parent or an aunt or an uncle or a neighbor or whatever that has control over them. But human trafficking also isn't only sex trafficking, it's also labor trafficking. And if you know anything about our area, you know that there's a lot of agriculture in it. And not everyone is able to work for a living wage. And so they just bring people in, they feed them a little bit, but they work very hard. Very similar to what slavery looked like 200 years ago. And so this summer, what we want to do is we want to provide a race that raises money to end human trafficking in our lifetime. A couple stats from Minnesota. This is straight off the state website. A 6-month study by local prosecutors found over 34,000 advertisements posted online for sex trafficking in the Twin Cities. In southwest Minnesota, a sting led to the arrest of 48 individuals. And then we work closely with someone who works in this area. He lives just in a neighboring community, but he can tell you stats specifically for Otter Tail County, Becker County, and the northern state area. There was, in fact, just a sting, a number like less than 2 years ago. You could probably look it up on the internet of a local person who was being trafficked. So our goal is to bring this race, to bring awareness to human trafficking in this area, and to raise money as we partner with people in order to combat it. So the partners that we're going to be working with both work locally and internationally to end human trafficking through a faith-based organization.
And so just to be clear, when we say fight human trafficking, what we're looking at is education. A lot of times, like Brandon mentioned, it's happening in the home, and these children aren't even aware. They think this is normal, this is what I do, this is how I help provide for my family. And so it's bringing rallies into the schools. We work with an organization that does that. We want to do a tour in this school district in the neighboring school districts, where it's like they're talking about bullying and they're talking about safety at home, and they're just bringing education and providing a safe place with counselors on the ready, so that these kids can come up and say, you said something, and that kind of struck something with me. I have a question. This is something I experienced. So there's the education side of it, to help both children and adults understand what they're in and what they're entitled to, what they should be given is just normal liberties. That's rescuing, so it's literally going into areas and educating and saying, hey, if you need a way out, if you're looking for any sort of Then it goes into rehabilitation. Let me give you job training. Let me teach you how to cook for yourself. Let me do all these things. Both in, again, he said the sex trafficking and labor. Labor could even be in hotels. It's not just agriculture. It can be in restaurants. It's places where people don't feel like they have a say. And so it's giving them that voice. And so that's what fighting it looks like. And so what we're wanting to do with this Race to End Human Trafficking is we're partnering with an organization called 30 for Freedom. They're based out of the Twin Cities. They have chapters all throughout Minnesota and around the world. They have organizations that they work with internationally, nationally, and then they said we can find something local here. And so we are still working to partner with an organization that we just heard about in the Brainerd area to help provide them funding from this race. And so this will be a way for people that live in Perham, because words are hard at 7:30 in the morning.
She's not a coffee drinker, so.
No, I'm not. I'm going up on my water bottle back there. We intentionally chose August as the month that we want to hold this race, so that not only people who live in Perham can participate, but also a lot of our cabin folk can participate as well. And it will then bring business to the stores on that Saturday afternoon after people are done with their race. We're going to have a 1 mile family fun run. We'll have a 5K, 10K distance. And then as the name 30 for Freedom indicates, there will be a 30-mile race. And yes, people actually sign up for that. And because Hibbing used to have a chapter and they just closed theirs down. There's one in Sauk Center and one in Wilmer and Cold Spring. So there's a great opportunity to be able to pull people to Perham for that. And it's our goal to raise at least $10,000. That helps cover the cost of chip timing, race participant shirts, medals, but then be able to provide different match opportunities as people are fundraising. And so if that is something that you want to come alongside of us, whether in a business sponsorship or volunteering on a committee or participating, please call or email us.
So again, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for allowing us to come. Thank you for partnering with us. Thank you for, from personally, like inviting us into the community. We've popped into a lot of your businesses, and we just look forward to growing our relationship with everyone here in Perham. So thank you very much.
See you soon.
All right, Ms. Heather.
All right. I'm Heather Strohs. I teach business and computer classes at Perham High School, and I'm also a BPA advisor. And we just had our state BPA competition this last weekend. We had 30 kids attend, which is our biggest group we've ever brought to the cities. We had 10 finalists. Unfortunately, we did not have anyone qualify for the national competition, but we had a really a great time and a lot of really successful competitions. So the good news with that is I'm not here asking for money this year to help support kids go to nationals, but we do have a couple of other things. Our program is growing. We brought this into Perham High School. This is our third year. We started with 11 to 26 to 37 students. And with that, students are required to wear professional attire to all of their competitions. And for some people, it's not a problem. They have it at home where it's easy to come across, but for some students, it's not easy to just come up with a business suit to be able to wear. So the first thing I'm asking for is if anyone has any old suits that might not fit anymore, guys or gals, things that you think might fit high school students, we're looking for a variety of sizes. Instead of just bringing them to donate elsewhere, which is great as well, we'd be happy to take them off your hands and have them available for students who might need attire to wear for competitions. So that can be suits, but it can be dress shirts, dress pants, ties, anything that would be part of that professional attire. Like I said, sizes can be a variety of sizes, but I think high school students, if you have anything, you can either drop it off at the high school, probably get it to Mackenzie somehow, and I can pick it up. I'm very flexible, however that would work, but we're kind of looking to get a stash built together so that we have things available for students as they need them. Okay? The second thing is, this trimester, which started last week, I'm teaching an entrepreneurship course. We cover all sorts of areas in terms of everything that goes into a business, from ownership to management to marketing to all of the things. Students will end up writing for completing some sort of a business plan for their own business at the end of it. And I like to welcome in business volunteers, entrepreneur volunteers to come in and speak to the class. I'm not a business owner myself, so I would love kids to learn from those who are in the business and small business world, own their own businesses, to come in and speak to my students. I have class during third hour from 10:51 to 11:46. Now, you don't have to fill that entire time. However much you would want to talk for, we're looking for maybe how did you get into it? Some of those qualities that you feel you might have as an entrepreneur. Tell us about your business. Why did you start the business? You know, some of those things behind it. We're looking for, proprietorships or partnerships or nonprofits, franchise, any different types of businesses so that students can get exposed to ownership in many different areas. So if that's you and you would like to come and speak, or we do have some opportunity to come and do field trips as well. But as you can see, we have a very limited time for a field trip, but we could do that as well. The class is under 20 students, so that's who would be coming in. But if you would like to speak, I'm looking at Wednesdays, kind of have a Wednesday series, but if other days of the week work better, that's fine as well. You can send me an email, we can get you on the list and see what days are open, and you can come teach students everything you know. So, I think that's it. Any questions for me? All right.
Thank you. All right, Mindy? The Elevate ladies are here. Katie and Mindy.
Again, we're here again.
They're back.
Keep trying to escape us, but it's not gonna work.
Yeah, so we are here today to talk about Memory Cafe. Has anyone ever heard of Memory Cafe anywhere? So Memory Cafe is something that is nationwide, maybe even worldwide, I'm not exactly sure. But every community kind of organizes and figures out their own way to do it that works for their community. So Mindy's had this idea since, I actually remember her holding the sheet at my interview for Elevate. I really would like to start a memory cafe someday. So that was a year and a half ago. So anyway, as we've kind of figured ourselves out a little bit more over the last year or so, we've decided to give this a shot. So we got a steering committee together. Mary Parkala was one of the committee members, who is now our sponsor for the cafe in memory of Carrie. And we had Patsy Hofer and Carol Lukowski and some other familiar names you probably heard from the area who all have been affected by family members with different types of dementia. So anyway, Memory Cafe is now official and it's starting. And we are going to be meeting the fourth Thursday of each month at Cross Point from 1 to 3. And that'll start on April 24th. So it's kind of the gist of it, but Emily, Mindy, do you want to go into that?
Katie can kind of pass out this sheet. So kind of the term Memory Cafe is kind of a universal term worldwide. So we don't serve lunch. There's always coffee. Everywhere we go, I think there's coffee. But it's a 2-hour event, one time a month. It's for anyone living with any form of memory loss, care partners, family, volunteers, anybody that would have any interest in memory loss or support. So the first portion of our time together will be some physical movement and activity. The goal of that is to kind of get people loosened up and kind of ready for our time together. Also, those types of activities that we'll be showing them in that 20-25-minute window are things that they could do together at home as well. And then we go into the education portion of our time together. It's around 35 minutes or so. The topics of our months, our first 6 months of the Memory Cafe, are on the back of this sheet. So this is going to be happening for care partners. People with memory loss are welcome to attend the educational piece of the time together. And then it's really for anybody, just to get familiar with the topic of the month. It's really facilitated by an expert or somebody who has experience with the topic. but it's also just a time for conversation and to relate to one another and kind of spend time together. While this is going on, kind of in a separate space at Crosspoint, there will be an activity going on, and those are also listed on the sheet. So you'd be able to see if somebody with memory loss or any form of dementia is not able to sit through that educational piece. Sometimes they wander, sometimes they can't sit still as easily, or they don't have interest in the topic at hand. They will be able to be with a group of volunteers working on that activity. And then the last portion of our time together each month is social time. So everything is better with coffee and a snack. So this is no different. This time is very fluid. So just because there is a schedule, if you just want to come to do the activity and spend time with your person, great, do that. You don't have to partake in that educational piece. This is really just a time to get people to come together and be with one another. Memory loss, Alzheimer's, dementia, this is a very isolating disease. So for us to be able to continue to bring things to our community that gives people a place and a purpose, we want to continue to work on that and continue to do that. So the back of the flyer has the first 6 months of topics and things. That doesn't mean we're done after 6 months. We'll just revisit the next 6 months after we kind of get a start on it. So
I was just gonna mention that, through all the activities we've been doing in our Elevating Voices Choir and, some other memory loss things we're working on, we find out like the number of people living with memory loss is a lot higher than any of us realize. It's about 10% of people over 65, have some form of memory loss. So it's hush hush and it's not super supported, and this is not, this is everywhere. Like everyone who gets diagnosed with memory loss across the nation has very little support. So if you know of anybody that would benefit from coming to this, it's very open, it's not formal, they can show up, and if they can't come the next month, it's just fine. So, yeah, we just really want to make it less taboo, I guess, to be those care partners and be able to get out with your person and have somewhere to go where people can understand what's going on.
along with our memory cafe, we have the choir, our dementia, our Elevating Voices course starting up at the end of this month. Our concert is open to the community, happens just before Memorial Day.
Tuesday before Memorial.
So we have that coming up, so if you need to start practicing and you want to come and volunteer and sing with us, please know that you're all invited and welcome to join. And then Katie and I recently were certified to be coaches for something called Dementia Live. This is a dementia simulator. We have a room set up with some tasks, and there's some things you have to go on, and it's supposed to emulate what somebody is experiencing that may have dementia. So Sue went through this with us a couple of weeks ago, and we had to have some guinea pigs to kind of test our new skills that we've received. So it's just a way to understand why you have to repeat things and why you really need to slow down in life, and why this is just a completely different form of communication with somebody. So that'll be open to the public here starting soon if anyone has interest in bringing in your team, your business. We'll have some sessions that are just open to the public as well.
We'll get a flyer out that has our dates that will be open, and I know like Nick came to, and just thought how even at the city, there's people walking in who you don't realize have memory loss, and just gaining a little more empathy towards what, isn't there like 1,000 people in our community in that age group? I feel like there's so many people that could be struggling and you just have no idea. Even if you had thought that maybe they were struggling with memory loss, you could just use some of the things you've learned just in case, and they're not offensive or anything, and just be a better way to communicate with them, giving them a little more time or whatever it may be. So,
Any questions at all? Sure. Thanks.
So Camp Joy, he was unable to be here this morning because he had a sick child, so hoping next month he can stop by. But that's one of our new members. So I want to say congrats to him. Spring Spectacular, I don't know if you've been out drinking lately, but I don't know if we're promoting that, but if somebody's healthy, go out and drink with your friends maybe. March 1st through 17th, there's $500 worth of prizes. So basically you get a card and then you try to hit up all of the businesses, support them. So you can go eat there, drink pop, beer, whatever you want, and you'll qualify. So And then we're gonna have the 4th annual Golden Egg Scavenger Hunt coming up in April. And the bunny goes around and hides eggs, participating businesses, and then you find at least 10, and the kids can enter in to win prizes. So that's what we have coming up for PEC. And then just got the update for the city.
Yes.
Got anything?
Go ahead.
We got so much going on, we got coordinated like that, right? Just a quick update, Main Street, again, 95% done. There's some just touch-up things we'll be doing this spring. The last piece of that project is 2nd Avenue Northeast, which is just outside of City Hall here. We're still waiting on some permitting from Burlington Northern, so we don't have a schedule for that yet, but obviously the sooner the better for that. So those are really the last pieces of that project, and probably the biggest construction you'll see this summer. Last night we did approve going ahead with bids for a new housing development, so Cherry Lane is called. It's going to be an 8-home development out in the Clearwater area, so think Perham Health, Girl Perham Apartments, Hadley House, kind of out in that area. So it'll be off the side of 7th Street. Along with that, we're looking at a trail connections grant. So we're looking at putting in a trail connection from Perham Living, so the corner of Perham Living at 3rd Street and 6th Avenue, along 6th Avenue in front of St. Paul's Church, making that corner onto 7th Street and connecting into the wellness trail at Perham Health. So that grant is in the process. We'll be working on that. There'll be a small piece of that trail that'll probably be put in regardless with the Cherry Lane project. So just to get better, that corner from going from 6th Avenue to 7th Street, think St. Paul's School, St. Paul's area there. The pedestrian traffic there is high, and that corner is just awkward. So we're trying to alleviate some of those issues there. Last but not least, you'll see we are participating in a project with West Central Initiative to study doing solar on the liquor store. So Landmark Liquors is looking at doing a solar array on the roof. So it'll be out there, people will see it, which is good advertising, I guess, for that. But also, we're looking at some pretty substantial savings for electrical costs for Landmark Liquors. So you'll probably be seeing some things coming out related to that. That's it.
Got it.
So a couple other things. We have a couple winners in the house tonight. We're doing the Chamber Choice Award tonight. It's this morning. Chamber Choice Awards is coming up on April 10th, and you can buy tickets at Perm.com. Just Perm.com. Perm.com/Choice Awards. So you can buy tickets if you would like to come support these individuals. So Elevate, they received the Leadership Award this year. So I'm really happy with them. And then we have Chuck in the house, and he got the Hall of Fame Award. Therese Perot, did I say it right? She got the Humanitarian Award. Bob Shepard got the Volunteer Award. Lakes Community Co-op got the Best in Business Award. And Lakes Ace Hardware got the Small Town Spirit Award. So if you would like to come support those businesses, April 10th, it's going to be at the Cactus. It's a really good time. They have a chance, they have a presenter who kind of tells why they got the award, and then they themselves get to share a little bit about what has been going on and why everything is important to them and all of my good stuff. It's a tearjerker sometimes. It's just really cool to honor those that are doing good in this community. So we're really excited about that. And then I do want to mention that we have the Acton Children's Business Fair coming up as well in April 6th, and that's a Sunday at the PAC. So any kids, kindergarten through 8th grade, basically what it is we support the businesses here in Perm as the chamber. Well, these are our little business owners, so the little mini entrepreneurs. So it's pretty fun. They come, we have like kids that do coffee, kids that draw pictures, some do bracelets, things like that, everything. Last year we had 56 roughly. Our goal for this year is about 80, and I think we're a little over halfway there, 45 right now. So we moved it from the back gym in the pack to the field house because we're hoping to fill that up, and it's just awesome. Bring your dollars and your coins, and they're the cutest things ever, and they're just looking at you like, please buy something. So it's adorable. Some of them sold out. Some put up a sign, be back in 10 minutes, going to the bathroom, you know, and then they never return. I don't know, maybe they're shopping.
Adventureland.
Yep, they go play in Adventureland or whatever. It's fine. But we really promote that the kids do the selling and the talking, and the parents just sit back and chill. If parents get too involved, you know, that's unfortunate because that's not what we're trying to teach. We're trying to teach these little kids what it's like to be a business owner. So we do make them rent a table for $5. You got to pay your dues. So that's kind of fun, and then that's going to go to the Roots and Wings school. So we partner with them. They started it a couple of years ago and then partnered with us last year, and then I think that'll just continue to grow. So they've done a really great job.
You have kids or grandkids that are little
Yeah, get 'em signed
entrepreneurs,
up.
business ideas. It's
Yeah.
free, other than the $5
Right, great. Yeah, it's
and
really
whatever
fun.
you have to buy.
Same time. Are there any other business updates quickly? A few extra minutes.
Can I do one little thing? Yeah, okay.
Us again.
I know. Sorry. Amanda Caldor that just started with us a couple months ago, she is also a certified health coach, which is awesome because she's running a lot of our health-related things through Elevate. And she's starting a health reset. It's like an accountability support group to get healthier, lose weight, get stronger, better your nutrition, whatever your goal might be. Or anyone at your businesses, if you want to hang up a flyer, it's going to be twice a month for 6 months over the lunch hour.
the Think Off question this year. So is there only one truth or are there many truths? So I think that'll be a really interesting debate. So the premise of the Think Off is we announce a question every year in January. We invite people to write essays. So an essay is 750 words or less. We have a committee that reads all the essays and judges them with all the personal information redacted. And the top 2 essayists on each side of the question are invited to New York Mills Center for the live debate on June 14th. We hold that in the school auditorium. And this contest is open to everybody. We have essays from all 50 states and about 30 countries. We get international entrants as well. We haven't had a local person for a while, so it'd be pretty cool to have somebody from Durham, right? So let's go. Or from Ottersville County. We do get essays locally as well, but that selection process happens in the month of April. So essays are due April 1st. We announce the winner, or the 4 finalists on May 1st, and then the debate is June 14th. So you're also invited to attend that debate. The audience actually votes to say who makes the best argument, and then eventually the winner is crowned America's greatest thinker for the year. So it's kind of a fun, different thing that nobody else is doing. So I think that's the reason we got national recognition for it. And we usually get a couple hundred people to come to the event, and it's just a cool, it's one of those things that you don't really, I don't know, maybe you wouldn't choose to do that on a Saturday night, but whenever I'm there, I'm like, this is actually way more interesting than I knew about it. So, yeah. Any questions for me?
That's awesome, thank you.
All right, thank you for allowing me to be here.
Yes, thank you.
And I'm happy to
Anybody else? Yes, ladies.
Hi, Emily from Love Inc. We just celebrated our connection center being open for 1 year, February 20th. And so we have National coming to visit and kind of give us the thumbs up that, hey, you're out of the development stage. We think you can go ahead and start doing more things in your community. So we have an event at Cross Plain Alliance tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Will be a light lunch provided. And we'll just share kind of what we've gone through this last year and from the development process and where we plan to go. So you all are invited to attend.
Thank you. Julie?
I am Julie. I'm with Career Focus. Just wanted to introduce our new GM, Lee Boyd. She started last week. She's from Pioneer, so excited to have her.
Hi.
I am her firm. I was born and raised here on a farm between Fern and Dark Hills, and then Schultz, my parents, if you know who they are. And my mom was also a big company for Brad Helmsley for like 1,000 years, which I mean, never done. But moved back about 7 years ago with my husband and our kids. Work for a fully remote company, so I'm wearing girl pants every day now. But just super excited to be here, and I'll probably drop in and introduce myself when I'm on as well.
So my name is Brenda Thompson, and I'm with the Scouts. So last Tuesday, we had a bunch of volunteers here in town do a Blitz Day for Friends of Scouting. And we're doing these throughout our council, and so far Perham is the community that has raised the most money in one day. So just want to thank all of the people who have supported that campaign. And if we didn't get to you and you want to donate, let me know. I mean, I'm willing to take the money. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, let's get to the prizes. Okay, so first up, a couple coupons from the Gathering Grounds. Amanda Miller. You're the winner. Congrats. Get some coffee. Okay, next up is Lakeside Tap, $25. They're going to reopen approximately April 1st. So it was going to be mid-March, but they need a little extra time. Really excited to see their remodel, new and old staff, kind of opening up like a more luxurious restaurant, like a smaller one, and then having their bar part, and then next year maybe working on the back event center. So they're putting a lot of work in. Lisa Glenn. And then we got Pizza Ranch, $25 to Pizza Ranch. Taylor Krause. There you go. Congrats. And then we have one large pizza from Zorba's. Marlena Wenzel. Did I say it right? No, did I? Good job.
You don't even need 7 tracks.
All right, and lastly, we have 2 bake-at-home pizzas from Kern Pizza Ranch. Julie Lake.
Didn't get done
Thank you, John.
I thought you were this one. That was all crumpled up.